Hello, I'm the admin of the blog Slowly Evolving at Moon, and today I'd like to make a video because I've had a bit of a change of heart. Now, if you've seen my Tumblr blog, you'll know that I am a staunch, filthy Ford apologist, meaning that I believe the character Stanford Pines from Gravity Falls doesn't deserve all the hate that he gets from the Gravity Falls fandom, although something happened that I'd like to talk about in this video. So, before you make any assumptions or say anything about this or about me, please watch until the end of the video, or at the very least read the first paragraph of the description. It won't be very long if you want context, but let me tell you about what happened. So, this started the other day. I got home and this freak was busting it down to Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics on my bed, while his brother Stan was in the corner cowering, whimpering out of pure fear. But the scene in front of me, I had a meltdown. I started to cry and I'm trying to avoid any sort of contact with my eyes with this thing, but it's staring right into my soul. I can't. So why do I hate Ford now? Well, after that incident, I started to reconsider everything that I knew and thought about Ford, just like the Ford haters always said that we should do. And, well, I realized they were right this whole time. Like, Ford is a horrible brother. He hates Stan. Like, after the science fair incident, when Ford shut the curtains on Stan after he was kicked out, I always thought that Ford looked sad because of how much was going on in that moment and how he couldn't really do anything and he didn't know how to face Stan in the moment. But no, Ford was sad because he wanted to be the one to kick Stan and banish him into the streets. But Filbert did it before he could. I can't believe Filbert's even better than Ford at being a horrible relative to Stan. Besides, Stan never did anything wrong. Well, his tough love of Dipper in the episode Dreamscapers was kind of problematic, but he was well-intentioned, and unlike Ford, Stan doesn't suck, so I'm not going to hold that against him. Also, unlike Ford, Stan would never do anything to endanger the kids. Well, not anything that isn't fun, at least. Instead, Ford gives the kids potentially dangerous weapons, made them go to places known to have dangerous anomalies, pits them against each other for the sake of his own ego, and intentionally deceives them. Stan is just an innocent little guy with horrible self-esteem issues and trauma who keeps getting pummeled by life, and especially by his own twin brother who can't relate in the slightest to any of that. Look, they're fighting now! Bad Ford! Anyway, and Stan, even if he got it the worst, wasn't the only one who got fucked over by Ford. I've also been rethinking Journal 3 and the Book of Bill, which are canon by the way, along with every other word of God Alex says. Obviously, he made the show. And let's not forget, Ford is the reason that Filford is a nearly one-dimensional Appalachian stereotype who lives in the dump. Taking him to Crash Site Omega and exposing him to the Gremloblin was basically handing him an assignment to build a dangerous memory gun to erase your anxiety and trauma until it ruins your life. And then the way Ford treats the kids. Don't even get me started on the apprenticeship offer. Ford offered Dipper the apprenticeship because he was clearly planning to kill him. Also, Ford doesn't believe that girls exist, so he thinks Mabel is just a collective hallucination between him, Dipper, and Stan. He wasn't sure how to tell Dipper this. I mean, not like he needs to if he's just gonna kill the kid. So he just whipped up something about Mabel being able to rizz up pizza delivery drivers. So she'll probably be fine if her brother is in Oregon doing an apprenticeship. The whole way Ford interacts with Dipper is just evil. Like, dumping your trauma about Bill onto a 12-year-old? That's fucked up. Of course he wants to kill Dipper before the kid can realize how awful his struggle is. And Ford's trauma about Bill? Please, he deserved it. The cave paintings warned him not to summon Bill, And all it took Bill was a little stroking of his massive ego and Ford was basically bowing at his feet. If those are feet, I'm not sure. Oh, and on that note, I don't really care for any Gravity Falls ships except for LD and Paul. I still stand by that one. But I've started shipping Bill from now because I think Bill can fix him. Like, yeah, Bill is evil too, but at least he's fun and charismatic. Ford could stand to learn something from that. Yeah, Bill was playing on how Ford needed a friend and everything, and how Ford was already always outcasted by everyone in high school, but I mean, having you consider that Ford maybe just had bad vibes when he was a teenager, and that's why people didn't like him? Yeah, maybe he was outcasted because he was autistic and other people didn't understand him, but he still deserved it because autistic people are evil. I know this because I am autistic and evil. But that's enough. I need to do something about this, about Ford, and to atone for all my horrible behaviors that I spent as a Ford apologist for the past 4 years. Stan, I think we need to kill this guy. Ford, I need you to come with me. The creek's nice, isn't it, Ford? Well, it'd be a shame if you were to fall into it. Well, you did it. I hope Stan get the happy ending he really deserves. We killed Ford. Oh, hold on a second. I forgot today's April 1st. I need to update my calendar. Ooh, fancy. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Ford's dead. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't worry, I'm not a Ford hater now, I promise. This whole video is an albeit 4-day late April Fool's joke. Basically everything was either absurdity that I pulled from thin air or actual takes on Ford that I've seen online, believe it or not. But no, I'm just as much of a Ford apologist as ever, and I'm still working on my video about the Book of Bill and the SVM short about what was Ford's fault. If you want to know more about what I mean when I say that I'm a Ford apologist, have a look at these 2 tags on my Tumblr blog. And I know the point of stuff like this is not to say that it's a joke, but as a guy who sometimes needs jokes explained to me, it's not funny anymore if you have to explain it isn't true. I'm not going to find the joke funny at all if you don't explain it. But that's enough. Thanks again for watching. Bye.